After the solemn warnings and promises of Leviticus 26, the final chapter of the book brings the focus back to devotion and dedication. Leviticus 27 may seem technical at first glance, full of valuations, vows, and offerings, but beneath its details lies a profound truth. Worship is not only about sacrifice, it is about surrender. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, if anyone makes a special vow to dedicate a person to the Lord by giving the equivalent value, set the value of a male between the ages of 20 and 60 at 50 shekels of silver." In Israel, vows were voluntary promises, personal acts of devotion made to God out of gratitude or faith. A person might vow to dedicate themselves, their family member, an animal, or part of their property to the Lord. These vows were not required by law, but once spoken, they were sacred. God took promises seriously because vows reflected the heart, a love willing to give beyond obligation. For those who made vows involving people, animals, or land, God provided a valuation system, assigning specific monetary values according to age, gender, and ability. This ensured fairness and order, preventing emotional promises from becoming chaotic or burdensome. If someone made a vow but later needed to redeem what they had dedicated, they could do so by paying the value plus an additional 1/5. This small increase showed that dedication was not something to be taken lightly. Once something was promised to God, it belonged to Him in full. Animals that were clean and suitable for sacrifice could not be exchanged or replaced. If anyone tries to substitute one animal for another, both the original and the substitute become holy. This law protected the sincerity of worship. God would not be honored with half-hearted substitutions. Unclean animals which could not be offered could still be dedicated by redeeming their value, again with an added 1/5. The chapter also dealt with dedication of property. If someone consecrated a house or field to the Lord, the priest would determine its value based on location and fertility. If the owner wished to buy it back, they would add 1/5 of the value as a sign of renewed devotion. But if the field remained dedicated until the year of Jubilee, it would not return to the owner. It would become permanently holy to the Lord. This law tied back beautifully to Leviticus 25, the idea that all land ultimately belongs to God. He is both the giver and the redeemer. The final section of the chapter, and of the entire book, deals with things that could not be redeemed. No person devoted to destruction may be ransomed, they are to be put to death. A tithe of everything from the land, whether grain from the soil or fruit from the trees, belongs to the Lord. It is holy to the Lord. The tithe, a tenth of all produce, was not a vow but a divine claim. It represented recognition that all provision came from God's hand. To give the tithe was to declare, "Everything I have belongs to you." And so, the book of Leviticus closes not with ceremony or sacrifice, but with consecration. After all the laws of holiness, purity, offerings, and worship, God ends by calling His people to voluntary devotion, to give freely, joyfully, and faithfully. Every detail of Leviticus 27 points to the truth that love gives. Holiness is not only separation from sin, but dedication to God. The heart of worship is not just obedience, but willing surrender. Through Jesus Christ, this principle finds its perfect fulfillment. He did not offer a vow of silver or land, He offered Himself. He became the true and final offering, not out of obligation, but out of love. In Him, every promise, every tithe, every dedication finds its meaning. As Romans 12:1 says, "Therefore, in view of God's mercy, offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual worship." Leviticus 27 reminds us that holiness is not the end of the story, worship is. God calls His redeemed people to live as offerings of gratitude, giving back to Him what He first gave to us. And so the book of Leviticus, a journey through sacrifice, law, purity, and worship, ends with a single word written over every heart devoted to God: holy to the Lord. Next comes the book of Numbers, where Israel moves forward from Mount Sinai into the wilderness and God begins to organize His people for the journey toward the Promised Land.